Hey, what's up, YouTube? Pipe Noob here. I thought I'd shoot another pipe video today and talk a little bit more about the flakes that I started talking about last episode. Beautiful day here in the Bay Area. I just got back from riding my motorcycle. Had a nice long ride. Beautiful, dry, crisp, clear. Thought I'd sit down and enjoy a bowl full of tobacco, and thought I'd maybe share a few minutes with you guys. I promised that I'd talk about the different ways to prepare flakes. Last week I had luxury bullseye flake, you know, the little coin flake, and I showed you how I just basically fold and stuff that one. Well, today I'm going to have some luxury navy flake, and this is a more traditional flake. Probably see it all over the place. I'll show you what it looks like here. They just look like this right here. They can be a little wider. They can be, you know, a little bit different dimensions, but it's just basically a block of tobacco that's been pressed and then sliced. When I first started doing pipes, the lady that I learned a bunch of shit from, I wanted to try a flake, and she's like, "Oh well, you know, those are not for rookies. You know, wait until you get a little bit more experienced." And you know, I felt that kind of intimidated me a little bit. Looking into it, it's really nothing to be intimidated about. It's nothing complicated. As I like to say, it's not rocket surgery. I'm going to try and remove a little bit of the mystery today and show you another way to prepare these. Now, I mentioned before, different preparations work better for different styles of flakes. The luxury bullseye flake, I like to do the fold and stuff. Luxury navy flake, I'll generally either fold and stuff or rub out, depending upon how I want to smoke it. I think that they taste a little bit different. I encourage you to try it both ways. But it's really not complicated. All you're going to do is you're going to take this, and I'm going to do this with a couple flakes, because that'll give me enough tobacco to fill my bowl. And you're just going to take it, you're just going to rub it between your fingers, and you're just going to break it up. That's really all you got to do. Now you see how I'm just rubbing it there, and I'm just breaking it up, right? Now what you'll end up getting, I'll show you here in a second what it looks like. It looks like this, and you can continue to rub it a little bit more. You can put it between your hands like so, and you can rub it out even more. You might run across a style of tobacco called Ready Rub, and Ready Rub, when you get it, will look just like this. It's just basically flakes that have been rubbed out so that they're ready. I know, really complicated, huh? The trick to this is you definitely need a plate or a paper towel or a napkin or something to catch your tobacco on. And depending upon how dry your tobacco is, you may want to let it sit out after you rub it out for a little while to dry even further. Just, you know, to get to the right moisture level. Now this luxury navy flake is a little on the moist side, to be honest. I probably should let it sit, but I'm not gonna. Let's just be honest, I'm not gonna. You'll get more experienced with knowing about how many you need to fill your bowl. This right here is 2 flakes worth. I'll show you what I've got here. That right there is 2 flakes worth. That's gonna fill my bowl. That's gonna be just about right. So now that when you've rubbed it out like that, all you gotta do, I'm gonna be smoking my cob today. You've heard me talk about how much I like cobs. This is my good old Missouri Meerschaum Country Gentleman. Probably one of my favorite pipes. Love this guy. I do throw the filters out. I don't use the paper filters. Other than that, just my good old standby. She's always there for me. So then you're just going to take the tobacco that you've rubbed out, and you're just going to load it normally. Again, this is smoking a pipe. This is not planting a moonshot. So don't overthink it. Basically, in the end, you're taking dried leaf and you're putting it in a bowl and you're setting it on fire. It's not anything to get intimidated about, not anything to overthink, not anything to make more complicated. Now, if you have a smaller bowl than this, then you probably want to start with one, rub that out, see how much it fills it, then rub a second one. Because this, I have a little bit left over here, just a little bit of tobacco left over, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that, and that won't fit in the bowl. Here, I'll move the camera here so you can see it. See, I've got about that much right there, that won't fit in the bowl, so I've got a scrap jar, and I put the extras in the scrap jar, and it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, whatever I've got left over from whatever I've been smoking. I get to the end of a pouch, throw the last little bit in there, etc. And sometimes you get a really good blend out of it. Sometimes you get a terrible blend out of it, but you generally throw good tobaccos in there and throw stuff that you like in there. And, who knows? You might end up with something good. Might be the next big famous tobacco blender. So I'm just gonna go ahead and light this up. Pardon me for a second. Now, one thing that I've noticed when I do this is, by now you've experienced this, I'm sure, the tobacco will swell up in your bowl when you light it. And the cut seems to have an impact on that, about how much it swells up. When you rub a flake out like this, it's kind of coarse and rough, and it seems to swell up quite a bit more. It's also something to watch out for if you're folding stuff in, because if you fold and stuff and you put it in there and you pack it really, really tight, when you light it, it's going to swell up even more, and it's going to seal that bowl off, tighter than shit, and you're not going to get any draw on it. So make sure that you err on the side of packing it a little bit looser than you normally would, and if you need to, pack it back down after your false light. All right, good to go. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this tobacco. This is Peter Stokkebye's Luxury Navy Flake. It's just a good, solid Navy Flake. It's a Virginia blend. I believe it's got a little bit of Perique in it, with a drop of rum. Traditional Navy Flake is a Virginia blend with a little bit of rum. You may find a little bit of Perique in them. You may not. I really, really like them. The rum flavor doesn't really carry through real strongly. I mean, just tiny little hint of it, and you can definitely smell it. But that's a traditional Navy Flake. I think the reason why they call that a Navy Flake is because back in the day, they used to give the sailors their ration of tobacco, and they give them. They'd cut a chunk off a tobacco rope, right, where they wound the leaves into a rope. They'd cut a chunk off, and the sailors, they could either chew it, or they could smoke it, or do whatever they wanted with it. Well, what they would generally do is they'd store that in empty rum barrels, and so it would the rum would kind of flavor it a little bit and help preserve it a little bit. And I guess what they would normally do if they were going to smoke it is they'd cut coins off of there, and then they'd rub those out. So they also started packing them in blocks, and then you can slice a chunk off the block. Now you can buy tobacco that's a plug. It's a block like that. You can buy rope, you can buy plug, you can buy a block of tobacco. If you're going to do that, if you're going to buy a block, what you do is you take your knife and you slice off till it looks like a flake. You slice a flake off, and then you rub that out, or you cut it, or you fold and stuff it. You do whatever you're going to do with it. But as usual, I encourage you to try it your own way. Don't be intimidated by flakes. Again, this is not a moonshot we're planning here. I can't stress that enough. You're setting a leaf on fire and you're smoking it. So don't worry about it. Get it wrong, try it again. If you pack it too tight, Get your poker in there, kind of loosen it up, maybe even dump the entire bowl out and try again. And that. Have a great day, YouTube. Enjoy yourselves.